Or should I rhyme? Let's get back to it, Hewitt. If any of you are named Hewitt out there, then hello. All right, now what were we doing in our first exercise? We were creating a villain for our story, and ooh, I got the tingles. This was very, very good. Woden, thank you very much for the happy affiliate anniversary. Ah, so soon. And I was very happy. It happened. So if this is the week for it, then that means that it happened. I hit affiliate a month after I started broadcasting. Though of course we celebrate. I'm happy for this note here. I'm happy for this note, though. We celebrate the channel anniversary, the channel anniversary when I first started broadcasting in late January. And maybe one day, with your all's help, each and every one of you out there can help get this community to say hi to Gaming Zeta Nazero. Big ol' raid coming in from Nazero. Vasil, hello. Yep, raid. How are things going for you tonight over in your part of Twitch, Nazero? Overlord Chameleon, good to see you back again. We are just starting our second. Oh, thank you, Nazero. We are just starting our second villain. So, y'all, yins and yuns alike, are cordially invited to this exercise. Oh, you finished Metroid Dread. I hope that you liked it. It looks really vibrant. It looks solid. I mean, the story is as a Metroid story would be, but it seems to be a really good successor to the side-scrolling, the 2D version. So we made our first villain, which is it jives very well with our story and our setting. Again, it writes itself, Iwi, IWI. And what we did, we filled in everything except our occupation and history to create a template that could be applied to anyone else. Any of the characters here, for example, could well have these aspects. And then we locked in the specifics with the occupation/history summary. Now, of course, that can be expanded a whole lot more. I use that as the placeholder for like race, class, background, etc. Best traditional Metroid you've played from the core series. Yeah, it seems to be pretty tight. It seems to hit everything that Metroid is supposed to be. And I'm glad it did it for you, Nazero. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start with occupation and history, and then we're going to work through the refining the character off of that as the base, right? Nazero, I'd like you to get us going. Overlord Chameleon, Vasil, if you're around too, I would like your all's help. Nazero, please type exclamation point 1D100 in chat. Stops on a 6. All right, so we have a female character. Next up, Overlord Chameleon, as we're going through things here. Overlord Chameleon, you're up next, and I need you to type exclamation point 1D9. Well, Bagger, if you want, you can spend inspiration points for a specific one. Otherwise, I pay attention to who's talking in chat, and I will randomly call on people. Oh, well, put some ice on it if you need to, Charlie. Lands on a 4. A gnome. Ooh. And which type of gnome are we? Have a rock gnome as a party member. So Overlord, can I get a 1d4 roll? 1 and 2, it's forest. 3 and 4, it's rock. 1, a forest gnome. All right. Next up, Vazel, if you're out there, can I get a 1d100 roll, please? Exclamation point 1d100. Genoms. Gnomes rock, says Bagger. Big Slam says, my next character is a Duragar fighter, has giant foundling background, was raised in the Underdark by a nomadic tribe of stone giants, Duragar, deep gnomes, and drow. The tribe sends dreamwalkers to the surface to investigate current events. My guy's the current dreamwalker after a tunnel in the Underdark collapses and incidentally kills the chieftain and his chiefess. Ooh. It's a very compelling and a background that will springboard you into the adventure. Demon Quiller, may I please have a 1d100 roll in chat? Lands on a 76. Lawful Evil. All right. For this, I'm not worried about character level or ability score improvement. Bagger, may I please have a 1d20 roll in chat? And welcome, CNG Mazik. I'm sorry. And thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary. Welcome, Raiders. It is good to have you here. Let me give you a shout out. Thanks for coming over. What was happening in your corner of Twitch? You caught us just starting our second villain creation. Our second villain creation part of our workshop. FF10 and Baldur's Gate 3. So lots of role-playing going on. Well, you've come to the right place, of course. Extension of a friendly local game store, and, well, I want to create a villain with your all's help. Now, we had a knight, a noble, or in this case, a knight, as the background, which is extra interesting because both the villains seem to have ties to the NPCs we generated in a prior workshop. Our rock gnome is well, no, not our rock gnome. Who is the noble? I thought we had a noble. Or was I thinking of the pirate as the optional? Let's see. Pirate and sage. Who was the noble? We might not have had a noble in our prior workshop then. Yeah, pirate, bad reputation, sage researcher, gladiator, singer, outlander, tribal marauder. Okay. Yeah, because pirate either could take bad reputation or ship's passage. Our pirate NPC took ship's passage. Nobles can get position of privilege or a retinue. It's called like retinue or envoy or something, where you can get some followers to come along with you. So I don't know what that's going to be yet. Let's find out the other qualities of our character to help figure that out. Oh yeah. Oh, Kobold Sprig, definitely a friend of the channel. Thank you very much for uh finding us through her and trusting that she keeps good company. I try not to embarrass her, but you know. It is what it is. Mazik, would you please type exclamation point 1D12 in chat? I'd like to know the class of our character, of our villain. Lands on a 6. A monk. We had a monk pirate also. And I'd like to know which kind of monk, and you can tell us that by typing exclamation point 1D3 in chat. Are we going to get another Way of the Four Elements? 2. Ooh, Way of the Open Hand, or as that's abbreviated, WOTOH. What? Way of the Open Hand, a different school. The manual of player character golems. There's an older version of it that is pinned in our Discord that you can download and use, Charlie. Otherwise, this is a proprietary sheet that I use on the channel. All right, and then lastly, in fact, can I have Deacon Munn? Deacon, if you're still here with us, would you please type exclamation point 1D100 to let us know the age category of our villain? Good night, feel the NyQuil kicking in. Oh, I hope you feel better, Sierra. And Heretic Trance unlurks. In Table Talk, the main chat channel. Lands on a 14. That is a young adult. We actually had a child prodigy and a young adult NPC we created through a similar exercise, Mazik. Now, young adult for gnomes here. Plus 1D14 years. So let's do this. Oh, that was a D20. Oh, all right, I see. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Sierra Echo went to lurk and needed to beat a 16. A 13. And succeeded. All right. So I guess we don't have... I guess we don't have Deacon around. Who can I... Heretic Trance. Heretic Trance, exclamation point 1D100, please. Sh55, an adult. So that's 40 plus 1D 165 years. Let's go over to random.org. I'm going to roll this one here. This is 165. And we're going to generate it. 96. So 96, we are 136 years old. So our villain is an adult, lawful evil female forest gnome Way of the Open Hand monk who is a knight. Thank you, Daly. Oh, okay, amazing. Yeah, no hard feelings. Who is a knight, which is a noble variant, and we'll figure out if she has a retinue or if she has a position of privilege. Now, this, if you wanted, you could stop right here and say, you know what? I already have enough of an idea. Remember, this is the reverse of how we made our first villain above, where we made our template to apply to what we ended up rolling into. Now we rolled up a character and we're going to apply a template secondarily. Daily, would you please get us going with a 1d 20 roll? I would like you to tell us which kind of villain we have. Hey, good to see you, Josh. So if y'all are playing along at home, crack open your Dungeon Master guides, and we are on page 74. Oh, apparently I lost Daily. Josh the NES nerd, can I please have a 1d20 roll from you in chat? Exclamation point 1d20. Three, a fiend bent on corruption or destruction. Actually, which kind? Josh, I would like you to roll a 1d12. There's not a lot of those in the game. 1 through 6. 1 through 6, it's corruption. 7 through 12, it's destruction. All right. A fiend bent on corruption. Now, our fiend, who apparently is disguised as an adult, lawful evil female forest gnome, way of the open hand monk, and a knight, or might actually be in the retinue and controlling this character to, sort of be duplicitous, maybe corrupting the knight, is going to cause the corruption through. We're going to skip ahead to page 94. Who else is here and hasn't rolled? Is there someone out there that hasn't rolled on this villain yet? I'm getting the charging cord as my headset's making beeps. Blue Joy and Hero Dragon and Charlie and Garaz and all right, Big Slam. Big Slam, 1d8, please. Rose Wolf, okay. Well, I'm getting some people lined up. I can call it now. You can always spend inspiration points to lock in something in particular. And you can see what is still to be filled in over here. Lands on a 3 through magic. Okay. And Garaz. We have some extra rolls here. So Garaz, I'll call on you next here. Big Slam, I'd like you to type exclamation point 1d6 and let us know what kind of magic or how magic. Hi, Rep Artist. Good to see you. Oh. Garaz, I guess, rolled it for you here, Big Slam. So you're just going to have to fight in the back alley and the loser gets put in the dumpster. Garaz gets a 7 on a d6. So that is your choice, Garaz, or you can roll a d6 again. Though it's going to be on a cooldown for you, so you just want to type 2d6 if you want to re-roll, and we'll take the first non-7 that shows up. A 6 it is. Open a gate to another world. All right. And we're going to accomplish that how? Charlie, I think you started us off with our first roll, I want to say. I can come back to you, but there's a couple others who haven't rolled at all. Rose Wolf hasn't rolled at all yet. Rose Wolf, can I get a 1d20? Stops on a 10. Lying or perjury? A fiend bent on corruption. Magic, by using magic to open a gate to another world through lying. Given this setting, given our setting, and the fact that we have a tyrannical autocrat who's in charge of the only, like, terraformed safe bubble in this Arctic area, I think this is going places. If y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. Now, our villain's weakness. May I please have Hero Dragon? Hero Dragon, I need a 1d8, please. Yeah, lying and manipulating. Yep, Charlie. Could be something like, well, you know what? I talked about him earlier in the stream, like a Grima Wormtongue. Only instead of to Saruman, it would be to, King, Thoradin? Was his name Thoradin, King of Rohan? Lands on a 4. A special weapon deals extra damage when used against the villain. Or apparently we have the Witch King of Angmar here and needs the Dunedain Ranger Blade from the Barrow. All right. Now we're going to pop over to our normal NPC, not a villainous NPC. And let's have Blue Joy start us off with our appearance. Exclamation point 1d20. Lands on a 13. Bald. Our abilities. I need a high and a low. I think we got through everyone who's first stepped up. Charlie, please type exclamation point 2d6, please. Seven and a 4. So Charlie, if you want, you can re-roll 1d6, or you can choose an ability that's not intelligence, because intelligence is low. So you can choose an ability score, or just type exclamation point 1d6 and re-roll. Oh, Rip Artist needs a roll? Okay. 6. All right, so high charisma, low intelligence. All right, what is a talent that this villain has, Rip Artist? I need a 1d20 roll, please. Lands on a 20. Knows thieves can't. Mannerism was locked in by Artemis Rose Moon. Artemis Rose Moon, please give me a 1d20 roll. Lands on a 2. Speaks in rhyme or some other peculiar way. And how does this character get along with others? Is there anyone else that hasn't rolled for this character at all? Anyone who might be hanging out? Do we have Bruised Beef? If you're still here, or Bagger, if you're still here, Goblin of Gygaxanor, if you're still here. GMV, okay. GMV 1d12, please. Lands on a 10, Ponderous. And now for our ideal. Let's see. Let's go back around. Mazik, are you still here with us? If you are, can I get a 2d6 roll? You gonna come up? No, you just want my attention? What are we doing? Come on. You can rub on my foot, or I can give you pets. Big Slam, can I get a 2d6 roll? One and 6, a good ideal of self-sacrifice. Now, this is extra interesting, is you might go, well, just hold on a gold darn minute. How do we have a lawful evil forest gnome fiend who has an ideal of good and self-sacrifice? Well, based on these prompts, we can still make it work. The alignment of the character does not have to match the ideal. There are many people who think that they're doing good things when, in fact, they're not doing good things. Or, this is an excellent prompt where we have this knight who's being manipulated into doing things by the fiend, but through the gnome who may be possessed. Have a good night, Charlie. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping. And what is our bond? I don't know why that shrunk a little bit here. There we go. Who do we have hanging out? Do we have Rose Wolf? I would like a 1d10, and let's have Josh 1d12, please. Josh is telling us our flaw or secret is 9. A shameful or scandalous history. Is that why she was sent to the nunnery? And Rose Wolf tells us that our bond is on 6, drawn to a special place. Now, let me show you what I mean for this background. And you can help me make the decision on which you think fits this character best. Let's see. Hermit. Noble. There we go. Now, position of privilege reads as follows. Thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You are welcome in high society, and people assume you have the right to be wherever you are. The common folk make every effort to accommodate you and avoid your displeasure, and other people of high birth treat you as a member of the same social sphere. You can secure an audience with a local noble if you need to. Or retainer, that was it. Retainers for the knight. And a knight could have a position of privilege as well. If your character has a noble background, you may select this background feature instead of position of privilege. You have the service of 3 retainers loyal to your family. These retainers can be attendants or messengers, and one might be a major domo. Your retainers are commoners who can perform mundane tasks for you, but they do not fight for you, will not follow you into obviously dangerous areas such as dungeons, and will leave if they are frequently endangered or abused. Now, from this, I can see 3 ways to take the prompt that we've generated. Either we have a fiend masquerading as this character, we have this character who exists, who is possessed by a fiend, and so maybe there's some sort of conflict, or especially as a storyteller, would you want this character maybe to actually be an innocent noble or a nun, or however, right? We have a monk of some variety. We have a studious person of some faith. But how do you, I mean, without just killing the host, how do you solve the problem like Maria? Or we have the noble, she is not possessed, though she is being manipulated by someone in her family, if we use position of privilege, or one of her retainers that follow her. Now, retainer we might be able to use as, it describes them as non-combatants, though of course we're making an NPC and a villain. So they could be other nuns or members of this monkery. If we can have a nunnery, we can have a monkery. And so she's being manipulated by one of her retainers that follow her and maybe get her, they're kind of leveraging her without possessing her. Well, I know that's the word for it, but it's not as fun as saying nunnery or monkery. Which of these sounds compelling? Because I can see each of these three, right? We do have this good and self-sacrifice, which could aim towards, we have someone who's possessed and still has these feelings of wanting to be good but is being controlled, or we have someone who is fine with self-sacrifice but is being manipulated by a retainer or a family member in order to open up this other world. But we do have this fiend bent on corruption as the villain. And so that's the other way of looking at it. Is the fiend bent on corruption also this person, or is corrupting or has corrupted this person in order to spread more corruption? Big Slam, you're thinking that it would be compelling if we have this noble knight who is leaning toward just a fiendish retainer, someone in the entourage. Or if we want to make her, I mean, as much as there's monk as monk, we have a gladiator with our other gnome. A monk could very well be a performing fighter as well, and might be someone that is a rival in that regard in the ring for a fight, and so we could have a trainer, a coach, a fan, or just as a member of an order, we have someone who is being corrupted from this other. Oh, what would be fun? What would be fun is if you're telling this story as a DM and this character always seems to, well, not make it overt, but always seems to mention her 3 retainers, but you only ever see 2 of them because the third is only visible to her, and that is the manipulator. That one's the corruptor. And so the players would have to really be paying attention in character to pick up that I don't know, she whispers in a frustrating tone, silence the 3 of you. And so maybe you have someone in the party roll a perception and actually hears that. And then I can imagine the player going, wait, how many retainers do I see? Oh, well, there's the one who is hauling the gear. And then there's another one who is, I don't know, like her manager or something, right? Keeps the schedule and everything. Well, where's the third one? Well, you haven't seen one so far. Does she usually travel with 3? Well, you've seen 2. She apparently has a third. Maybe the third one's off running an errand, and she's just being aggravated that the third retainer isn't coming back yet. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Play. We come to another storyline, and then we have another scene where the 2 retainers that are seen have been seen shopping or out doing something. They find this gnome and she's talking to someone that by all accounts looks like herself. Now, she is a nun. She has been sent to a nunnery. And so maybe she's praying to her god or goddess. Or she is, in fact, having a conversation with that third retainer who isn't visible to the group. Maybe not without some sort of shenaniganery, like a spell or a magic device. Then they can see that there is this fiendish character sitting across from her. And how would this play into tieflings? I made the joke that we have, well, there's two tieflings in the party. And I said, well, when we were creating the setting, we have halflings and we have half elves. And, what kind of lings are the halflings? What if the tieflings somehow are people born within here as this homeostasis crystal is slowly being corrupted into something that is actually changing over time, changing people? What if tieflings were, but maybe it's something that's like how mutants are in the X-Men. Puberty hits and they get a mutant power. Might be born as a halfling, might be born as a half elf, which we're kind of treating as the long-lived Numenorian humans in Middle Earth and such. What if it's something that happens to members of the populace, no matter what you are at birth? You grow horns and a tail. So it's an odd effect. After all, what is keeping this place warm in the middle of the Arctic? Is this actually a hellish influence? Is this actually some sort of hellgate that has a filter on it where the magic and the warmth from the hells seeps out to keep the place actually nice? It's kept the fiends out, except now there's a fiend here who maybe has made a long trek around, wants to bring down the filter in the crystal to actually have this be a beachhead for some felled plane to open up and start doing its thing. We are level 11, so we are talking about higher level D&D adventures. And now that I'm saying that out loud, that really seems to work well. Opinions or thoughts from you all? And again, that idea, I mean, could I have thought of it? I'm sure. I would have sat here and gone, I would have sounded like a villager from Minecraft. But instead, we're letting the process play out. And if we have a villain who is organic to the setting, it all makes sense. It all flows together. And we don't really need to try. We don't need to try and shoehorn in, a philosophy or a scandal, or we present something that seems incongruous, and then we have to go, it was totally this other thing. It was a dream. It was just a dream. That's all. Instead, this is actually folded back on itself, and I think has added a very compelling element to our adventuring region. And everything is working now. In fact, this tiefling, this retainer could even be like tiefling shaped or something along those lines. Or it's something that maybe she being, I believe in, in very good things, and I'm I'm a knight of the land protecting it from this. I was brought up in this in the nunnery. Is she a nun with a gun? Is she a gun kata monk? Well, she's away the open hand. What all? I can see this playing out really, really well. And in fact, we have our other villain. Now, this might end up being the big bad evil guy. This, however, is certainly an antagonist, since they're stalking, trying to gain the favor of the ruler, who is a tyrant, but is also not an extraplanar, sort of an elementally infused, you know, vessel of evil that a fiend might be. And in this case, you might actually have someone where you need to turn evil against evil and have this halfling tyrant, tyrannical autocrat face this great threat and, expend him or herself on it. I'm actually from the Hobbit movie. I'm almost getting the Master of Lake Town effect. Trying to rally everyone to fight while he sneaks off, kind of a thing. Oh yeah, for glory and all this other stuff, yay! And then when the going gets tough, actually slinks off, but still gets a comeuppance. That I think that can work really well. We also kind of have a lake town going on, but that can work really, really, really well. What are you math crunching, Hero Dragon? It of course, the math crunch is a little bit different than the making a story crunch, but this works out super well. And we have villains who are understandable, maybe even pitiable to a point, if you want to count the gnome as a villain. Though we learn that she's being manipulated. But that makes them a little bit more complex. They're not just I'm a bad guy doing bad guy thing. While they plot menacingly. You're giving a troll magic items and spells? Are you making a troll that's immune to fire and acid so it just won't die? Is that what you're doing, Hero Dragon? Hi, Scanian. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, all the war might have actually damaged the filter. And since that war, things have been... Maybe that's what started this tiefling kind of not spontaneous, but this change, this mutation. That is going to give us a timeline. It's going to give us a history of the place. It's going to give us locations and reasons for why things are the way that they are. I don't get the reference, Scanian. What are you talking about? But anyway, there's the idea built on everything that's come before. As I stare at it, I'm not even perplexed nor puzzled. I'm going, this is brilliant, and what would be a cool way to weave it together? But then I realize that as we take a look at our schedule here, tomorrow's stream is going to be bringing it all together. So why am I sitting here all slack-jawed and my brain going, when we're going to do this together anyway tomorrow, and then we're going to outline the campaign on Friday. Oh, yeah, you dirty rat. Yeah, okay. Well, everyone, we've built our villains. We're going to cross that one out. I think we did a good job.